back again with the
Yes.
foolishness.
Hey guys, welcome back to Green Avenue. We are here today, the first week of Christmas, and why not make some Christmas cookies? Guys, see this Christmas backdrop here? That
The
means
wreath.
it's Christmas time.
With the cranberries on it, like come on.
Yes. So today we are going to teach you guys how to make some beautiful golden chocolate chip cookies along with some wonderfully light and airy raspberry Linzer cookies.
And of course, back with another pairing. So this one's gonna be more focused on some bubbles this time. A lovely kava for you, paired with the lovely Linzer cookie there. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the chocolate chip cookie pairing later.
Let's get started. For the chocolate chip cookies, leave your oven preheated at 315 degrees Fahrenheit. Using a KitchenAid mixer or a handheld mixer, cream together your vegan butter, coconut oil for a minute. Gradually add both sugars and vanilla. Scrape the bowl in between, adding your ingredients. Gradually pour in your aquafaba and whip it until the mixture begins to fluff up. Sift in your powdered sugar, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. Gradually pour that mix, scraping the bowl in between. Add your chocolate chips at the end and mix well until combined. Scoop your dough onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or a silicone mat. Be sure to spread the dough apart from the other dough pieces about 1.5 inches. Bake your cookies for 10 to 13 minutes or until the edges of the cookies turn golden brown. Remove the cookies from the baking sheet and place on a wire rack to cool. In a large mixing bowl, stir together all ingredients. Simmer until the raspberries are completely broken down. Refrigerate the filling for approximately 30 minutes. I'm about to just cook this over here. I gotta work this on top. I try to do it because the light is better right there. Yeah. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the butter, powdered sugar, vanilla extract, flour into the mixing bowl. Mix until it is crumbly. Add the milk and keep mixing. The dough should begin to clump in about 15 seconds. Place the dough onto a powdered sugar lined area. Roll out your dough and cut your shapes as desired. Bake the cookies for 15 minutes or until lightly golden on the edges. All right, fine. Flip these bad boys over. This is the booty part.
But yeah, no, December is my favorite time of the year, just in general across the board.
Nice.
Like I love the winter time, then I love Christmas. Like Thanksgiving is great. I just feel like it's a very gluttonous holiday.
Yes,
All we do
it's
is
all about
eat.
the food.
Yeah, so with Christmas, it's like there's more of like there's less tangibles. There's more intangible things. So it's like, it's just a feeling.
Family,
Just, yeah, the energy is different. The
movies.
feeling. Yeah. And sharing an experience. And obviously, you can't share an experience with someone without a glass of wine. Exactly, without drinking. So that's what we're doing. So I have a really wonderful cava here for you guys. So cava is essentially a Spanish sparkling wine that's made in the same method as traditional champagne.
Okay.
Obviously, we all know that you can't call anything champagne unless it's from Champagne, France. Because anything else is sparkling isolation, as they say. But obviously, so every region of the world has their own kind of title for what they call their sparkling wine. In Spain, it's called cava. Again, same method as traditional champagne, where the secondary fermentation happens inside of the bottle, and that's what creates the bubbles.
So you'd have to wait to sell this then. They
Great, yeah.
Okay,
so yeah,
so
what you would do is you produce the wine and produce it the way you would normally vinify any wine. But then what you do is you take it, you bottle that wine, and then you allow it to undergo its secondary fermentation. That's what creates the bubbles and the CO2. And that's what you get your correct. And then you're able to sell it.
Okay, and that's why when you pop that cork, you go.
But now Prosecco's, for example, a lot of people are really big into Prosecco, especially here in the States. Prosecco is a sparkling wine that has secondary fermentation inside of stainless steel tanks, which is why it's a little bit more inexpensive, because you can kind of make it in bigger batches.
Bunch.
Correct. Whereas with traditional champagnes or things that are made, you have to do it in the bottle, so it takes a little bit longer. But cavas are a great, inexpensive champagne, essentially. Again, made in the same style as a champagne, but they're way cheaper. This one is like $8. So
What? This pretty bottle.
I know, the super fun label. I think they only put this label out for like the holidays.
That's really cool.
But yeah, it's super inexpensive, super cheap. So like you can buy this in bulk for Christmas and then save some for New Year's. Like it's the perfect kind of option, alternative to inexpensive champagne.
Okay.
Because it drinks very similarly and it's very tasty as well. A little story behind the way that you buy champagne, because a lot of people don't know that most wine is made dry. So typically the style is dry. When it comes to champagne, everything's kind of backwards. So like when regular red and white wines, it's always dry, then you have off dry, then you have sweet. When it comes to sparkling wines, it's flipped the other way. So if you see something that's labeled Brut, that's kind of like your middle of the road. It's got some residual sugar to it, but it's not going to be over the top. The sweetness level always varies. And then you have, right below that, you have Extra Brut, and then you have Brut Nature, or Natural Brut. And those are going to be your really, really like bone dry styles of champagne. And then you have Dry, which when it comes to champagne, dry means sweet. The sugar level increases as you kind of move up the scale. So this one is Brut. This is kind of like middle of the road. The sweetness levels vary. Then you get dry. Then you get extra dry, which is technically moving more into sweeter. And then you have what we call your dough. And that's going to be like your sweetest style sparkling wine.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's very good to know. So when I'm shopping, I'll know that when it says dry, that really means it's sweeter.
Exactly.
With
So you have to think
only.
with champagnes only. It's flipped the other way, because when it comes to regular wines, you think in the opposite direction. Exactly. But it's super fun. So that way, if you're shopping for wine, you kind of know what you're looking for. Because some people prefer their sparkling wines to be drier in style, especially if you're doing stuff like seafood, maybe like a Brut Nature or a Extra Brut would be better. But if you are doing stuff like we are doing today with like a dessert, definitely get one that's got some more residual sugar in there. Will be the better option for you. So we're going to pop this bad boy open. Alrighty, folks. So I'm going to show you guys how to properly open up a bottle of wine, bottle of sparkling wine specifically. So typically, there's the foil that's on the outside, but then underneath is going to be a cage, which keeps the cork kind of locked down. And then you have the actual cork here, which is more of a mushroom-shaped cork. So it's thin when it goes in, but once it pops out, it puffs up. What you'll start with is you'll take the foil off. Usually, a lot of them will have these little markers here for where you can actually peel the slip. Put the foil there.
Now, do you pull the foil off the top too?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, the whole thing.
Yeah. Then once you get that center piece off, you should be able to just go ahead and do that. All right. So now I'll turn it this way. So what you're going to do now is you see the little, so this is the cage that's here on the outside, and then here's the little knobby twist. You just twist this in the opposite direction, but the whole time you want to make sure that you keep your thumb on the top of this cork, so that way it doesn't pop out. Now what you'll do to properly open it is you'll turn the bottle in one direction and then you'll turn the cork in the opposite direction to kind of wiggle it out.
Oh.
Now, in restaurants, you really shouldn't be hearing any popping. It should just be like a light fizz, just like that.
Ooh,
And that's how you pop it open. I know, right? But then you see the, this is a cute mushroom. We can just twist this back on and you can save this, keep it, add it to your cork collection like Jennifer.
I have one. This is so cool. I've always heard the...
I know. And it's like in a restaurant setting, you really shouldn't be having that popping noise if you're opening up the wine correctly.
Yeah, I know I've been doing it incorrectly for so long. Because I always hear that sound. Oh, it looks so fizzy.
This one is like super fizzy. It's really pretty color. It's almost like a pale
green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. It is nice.
And it's super aromatic. I can already smell it.
I smell it too.
The kava is meant to be paired with the Linzer cookies, just because kava, again, made in that traditional champagne method, but it's got these really yummy kind of brioche toasted almond things going on, so that that toast element really works well with like fruit purees. So for this dessert in particular, it's almost like you're having like raspberry toast almost.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of like the idea.
Last episode, we had a wine that goes good with
the chocolate chip cookies. Exactly.
Yeah,
that
so
was
y'all
the port.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Go back to that port from last
exactly.
week.
If you still have your port left, if you have that port left over from last week, whichever one you decide to go with, either one that I showcased or you found one in your local wine shop, it's great with chocolate chip cookies. So I would definitely do that. Or even something you can get away with, like a sherry or something with chocolate chip cookies also works really well. We'll go ahead and toast and cheers because we can't enjoy these cookies without a little sip.
A little
okay?
sip. Happy holidays. Oh, this is nice.
Mm-hmm. Usually the Bruts are crisper. There's a lot of fruit. This one's got like really lovely like green apple tones. Again, there's like a little bit of like that
Very green
like
apple.
baked bread, almost like on the nose and on the palate, but super tasty. And again, as you go the opposite direction, where it's like extra dry, you will be more into higher levels of sweetness. You get a little bit more to play with. You can do it with more extravagant desserts that are a little bit sweeter. But if you go the opposite direction, where you get into the Brut Nature and the extra Brut, those ones are gonna be drier in style. Those will be better with like seafood appetizers, more savory items.
This I could tell is gonna go good with that raspberry. Because the raspberry has like lemon in it. I already ate one.
So she ate one off camera.
I did eat one already.
I can't believe you don't have a big sweet tooth. I have a big sweet tooth. Look at that jam.
I know. Ooh, look at that jam. That's my jam.
That's my wave.
That thing's soft, ain't it?
It was really soft. I was going like more crunchy. This is good.
Good, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not a sweets person. I ate one of these cookies and I'm pretty good.
It was too much. But you need
But
to eat
I
one
won't eat it
and
on
drink,
camera.
and then drink some
Yeah,
champagne.
and drink the champagne.
Or the kava, sorry. Kava. Champagne is from Champagne, France. Only. I'm looking at you, California, because y'all are the worst offenders. The worst.
Right. I like Cali too, so y'all need to stop. Oh, yeah. It makes the cookie bearable.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like you don't have as much of that sugar left in your mouth from the cookie.
Because I'm not a sweets person. I made these for y'all. Literally. This is good.
This is really good.
Want to try cookies, Zoe? Okay, I'm good. That's too sweet.
Really?
I cannot, like, I made cupcakes yesterday. I ate half the cupcake. I literally cut the cupcake in half, tasted it, and I was like, okay, it's good. That's it.
Like, that's all I need to know.
This is really good.
Comparison. But it reminds me of like a really like high-end Pop-Tart. That's what it tastes like.
You can make it into a Pop-Tart. I didn't even think about that. You have the dough, roll it out thinner, and then instead of circle cutters, do square cutters. Boom. And then you take the raspberry jam, put it inside, flip that thing
And pinch
over,
the
and pinch the
ends.
sides with a fork. So look, Zoe created some Pop-Tarts for y'all. All right.
I did that.
I
That's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah,
That
this
one was
is a
really
good
good.
wine, yeah.
Only $8. That's the thing. Like any
This is
grocery
so
store, you
good.
can find Campo Viejos that really well-known producer. Lots
And
of
it's so
grocery store
pretty.
presents.
You'll find that bottle.
Yeah, it's a fun bottle. It's very like Mardi Gras almost, but it's very December. Also, it feels very much a December label.
It's festive. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We had some champagne. Sorry, I'm an offender. My bad. We had some kava.
Yes.
Not champagne. And we had some wonderful Linzer cookies, chocolate chip cookies. We ate these off of camera.
We did. I ate like
so,
too many.
dang it. I'll just rip it open. There you go. Soft cookie. Y'all see that?
She broke this into 4. Let me eat a piece.
Okay,
so
there
that
you
they
go.
know it's
so
good.
they know it tastes bomb.
Because I did. I ate like 7
Yeah.
of these off camera.
Yeah, we
So good.
soft. I'm not gonna eat that piece. I'm sorry. I don't like sweets. Y'all should like my honesty. That's why you should be subscribed and stay here, because we're honest. We don't lie to y'all.
I'm just here for the food.
And he's gonna get a lot out of it. We got 4 more shows of awesome food, awesome cooking. We gave you guys some sweets in between, so come back next week. We're excited to give you guys the next business.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time, happy holidays.
It's RSM.